Here's another type of question on the sentence skills portion of the Accuplacer that tests your knowledge of grammar terminology. In this case, it also tests your knowledge of how sentences are put together. Remember that there are simple, compound, and complex sentence types. Simple sentences are formed with main clauses, also called independent clauses. Compound sentences are formed of two main clauses or independent clauses joined with a coordinator and, but, or, nor, for, so, yet, or a semicolon. Complex sentences are composed of a main clause or independent clause, in other words, and a subordinate clause, also called a dependent clause. Subordinate means it's under the main clause. So in this sentence there are two clauses. You have to find the two different clauses that make up this sentence first. Remember, to find the two different clauses, locate the subjects and the verbs. This sentence will contain two subjects and two verbs. The first subject is Jeff, and the first verb is read. That's the past tense, of course, of read. The second subject you can find here, the coach, and the second verb is recommended. If you have trouble finding the second subject, look for the verb. The subject will be the word before it. Remember that a dependent clause is joined to an independent clause by a connecting word, a joining word. In this case, the joining word is that. This piece here, that the coach recommended, is the subordinate clause. The main clause is, Jeff read the book on football strategies. One way to test whether you've got the right answer if you're looking for a subordinate clause is read it aloud. Does it make sense by itself? If it does not make sense by itself, it's probably a subordinate clause. If a clause makes sense all by itself, it's probably a main clause or independent clause. Here, the sentence, Jeff read the book on football strategies, that makes sense all by itself. You don't need any more information. However, if I just read this clause, that the coach recommended, that doesn't make sense. So you know it must go together with another piece, the main clause, in order to form a complete sentence. So I type that the coach recommended.